So again, hello everyone on YouTube and abroad. Holiday Hill Baptist Youth Department Student Ministry here yet again, talking about joy in spite of circumstances. Our icebreaker question for this week, and again, we're totally not all wearing the same thing because Sam and Bella have crowns, and
we've been locked here for 3 weeks. We found out how to pick the door to the prop closet.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's a tiara. No, by no means did we just sneak into a prop closet before filming this. That didn't happen at all.
Sorry, preschool department.
Sorry, preschool department.
I'm not sorry. I'm keeping this.
Okay, so icebreaker question. With all the theme parks shut down, not that we would, endorse this by any way, but if you could get into that park, which park are you getting into, and which ride are you riding first? Bella, what do you got?
Start with Mackenzie, because we always start with me.
Okay, fine. We'll start with Mackenzie. Mackenzie, what do you got?
Fine. Universal Studios, Islands of Adventure, and the Hulk.
Front row?
Yes, of course.
Absolutely. Steven, what about you?
Hollywood Studios, Rock and Roller Coaster.
Dang it!
Ooh, that's a good one.
You took mine.
Hollywood Studios would be up there for me, but more specifically, the one I'd really like to do in light of it's just an extra level of spooky would be the Magic Kingdom and go into the Haunted Mansion. Haunted Mansion, Magic Kingdom. What about you? Okay,
see, here I'm conflicted. Because if memory serves, Universal's shut down their Jurassic Park ride, which would have been my first answer. In light of that, I'm going to have to agree with the Hollywood Studios, although I want to do Tower of Terror at night.
I'll wear a Tower of Terror.
I will scream like a little girl.
Did you call that the other day that he was going to say that?
When we rode Tower of Terror as a youth department a few months ago, a couple months back, I think, weren't you sitting next to Sam? I think he was holding on to you for dear life. Was that? No?
No, my hands were in there, and I played it cool like a real man. I screamed like a child.
He did. It was very funny.
Rise of Resistance would also be a good one.
Ooh.
Oh, I hate that ride so much.
What is wrong with you?
I could feel the building moving.
Well, yeah.
And no one else is acting like it's moving.
A ship. It was a ship. You were flying through the space galaxy.
You don't understand. I'm standing there. The whole building is shifting around me, and everyone else is playing it cool like it's not happening, or the tuned in to notice it. And it just threw me off for the next hour. I had to sit there on solid ground and just wait.
I remember that.
Okay, Bella, what about you?
I would probably do Animal Kingdom and Everest because I like that one a lot.
Is that the one with the Yeti?
Yeah, that's the one with the Yeti. It goes backwards. Yeah, that one's really good. That was a fun one.
The Yeti still dropped down, but then the whole ride would break.
So again, guys, we are in the book of Philippians. Right now, we are now in chapter 3. And the focus of today's chapter, the verse we're honing in on, is verse 17, 3:17. Brothers, join in intimidating. Brothers, join in imitating me, and keep your eyes on those who walk according to the example you have in us. In the weeks previous, we talked about how there are more things important than our own personal life and death. There are things greater than us, in other words. And when we realize that, our attitude changes. And now today we talk about the actual focus. When our attitude changes, our focus can change. And Paul, while writing this in a prison, is telling this church, imitate me and keep your eyes on those who walk according to the example you have in us. Again, there's lots going on. People are sad. People are frustrated. People are hurting right now. And people, oh yeah, by the way, are also sick. That's actually happening too. And I had a friend in the ministry, and he said this once. He said whenever he felt down, whenever he felt like things were bad or he was upset, what he would do is he would go out and minister and visit people. Now, of course, for the here and now, you can't really visit people, but the truth still stays the same. I minister to someone who might not have it as bad as I do, or maybe has it worse than I do. When a crisis hits, who do you think of and why? When crisis hits, who do you think of and why? What do we got?
Example of crisis, like here?
Yeah, like when a crisis, or let's say it was a hurricane, because we're Florida kids. If it's a hurricane, if it's any kind of crisis, who do you think of and why?
I mean, I would worry about the people living in my own house, but I would mainly worry about the people I'm really close to who don't live in my house and what they're doing to protect themselves from it. Because trees can fall and...
Didn't your sister have some hypothetical question around the dinner table earlier this week? Care to share?
Yes, sure.
Like if a bomb was going to drop on the house and you had to get one family member, was it something like that?
Yes, if an atomic bomb was going to drop on the house, which family member would we grab? Yeah, just that. And My mom said my little sister because she's the youngest. My dad said me because I'm the second oldest. And then my older sister was apparently just going to fend for herself. And then she said, but little did we know, she was building the atomic bomb.
Yeah, there you go. But anyway, anyone else? When crisis hits, who do we think of and why?
Do they have to live in Florida?
No, I mean, when a crisis hits, who do you think of and why?
Haley.
I love her.
So we think of our friends. Yeah, Paley's one of your friends. Actually, she's your cousin.
My cousin.
Yeah, she's your friend and a cousin. She's a cousin friend. So you think about failures, you think about friends. Anything else, guys? When crisis hits, who do you think about and why?
Well, family, friends. One that always comes to mind in particular is my dad's, well, I would say best friends, but he doesn't have a lot of friends.
Mm-hmm.
He's not much of a people person. No one in the family is. Except the dog. The dog loves people. But his best friend, Larry, the two of them met through just being an AC repairman.
Mm-hmm.
You meet people.
Yeah.
Larry's a carpenter. Spent his whole life doing carpentry. I want to say he's like 72 this year, 73. Mm-hmm. But close friend, really nice, really sweet, always looking out for others. So whenever a crisis hits, he's always one of the first on my mind.
Yeah. We have people we love. We have people who we care for. And yeah, when a crisis hits, I think it's natural. We think about the people who we love the most. And I think it's endearing and also true that our focus in the midst of crises usually focuses on people such as that. And I think that's wonderful. That's cool. Here's another question. Similar but different. In the midst of crisis, who do you wish you could be and why? Like when something bad happens, because let's face it, when Governor DeSantis brought down the lockdown order, I think honestly, if we're probably thinking like either A, I would have done it sooner. A lot of people said that he should have done it sooner. And then there's other people, as we talked about last week, members of Team Don't Care. People are like, why are you doing this at all? There's no reason for this. And that's the point. Everyone has an opinion. And with either the opinion, you should have done it sooner or you shouldn't have done it at all. Regardless of which one you are, let's face it. When we make that opinion, when we express that idea, at its core, we're basically saying we would have done it and we would have done it better. We would have done it and we would have done it better. In other words, in the midst of crisis, I wish I was the governor of Florida. I would have done the job better. When we say things like it was too soon or too late or should have been done at all. But so in the midst of crisis, who do we wish we were and why?
In this crisis, I would be the dude who ate the bat and I wouldn't eat the bat.
I would make the decision
to not eat the
to
bat.
not eat the bat.
That's okay, I'd eat the bat for her.
Ozzy Osbourne ate the bat for you, folks. That's what happened. In the midst of crisis, who do we wish we were and why? Or how about this? In the midst of crisis, are there people that we admire that we wish we were like them? Like, again, if you're part of Team Freakout, are there people who are so calm and collected, you wish you could be that person? You wish you could take all your worry and hang it up on like a shelf and not ever come back to it? Are there people like that in our life that we wish we could be?
I don't know if the show's still on. You remember the show Doomsday Preppers?
I remember the show, but I don't know if it's still on anymore.
All right, so I don't know if it is either. But when like a crisis hits, my first thought, outside of I hope all the friends and family are doing well, is I really wish I was one of those people that just was living out in the middle of nowhere in some like abandoned nuclear silo that I happened to purchase with like 20 acres of land, growing my own food and stuff. Like, oh, this isn't going to bother me. I'm underground.
Bring it, nuclear holocaust. I don't care.
My dad works with someone like that. What was his name?
We're not going to sell people out here today, but yes, there are people who are like that. And we talked a little bit about this last week. We complain about the shoes until you meet someone who doesn't have any feet kind of thing. And I'll be honest, my answer is, and many of you, I think everyone at the table knows who this is, that's Chad and Gina. Chad and Gina. Here's the thing. For those of you that know Miss Gina, if you don't know Miss Gina, know this. It's literally, physically, emotionally impossible to dislike this woman. You can't do it. It cannot be done. She is instantly likable. She's instantly lovable. She gives the best hugs.
Oh, she does.
Although you can't hug her right now because coronavirus. And the main reason you can't is because of, honestly, it's Chad. And Chad's wonderful too. Chad's a big kid. He'll admit to you he's a big kid. He has like the coolest collection. Yeah, he has the coolest collection of stuff available. And Chad's currently going through cancer. That's reality right now. And it's sad. And let's face it, for someone to have something like that happen to someone like that, like him, the first initial thought is, okay, this is completely 100% not fair. I think that's a life lesson. Sometimes life's just not fair. It's not fair. And you look at Chad, you look at Gina, and that's my answer. I'm like, I wish I could be like them. In the midst of all the insanity that could go on, and I like to do things by the seat of my pants, but I also like to plan. And what frustrates me about planning, I don't know how about this for you guys? If you make a plan and the plan just like blows up,
Falls apart.
Yeah, it falls apart. Focus, attitude. What do we got? I lose my mind. I get angry.
Like when you make plans to like go to the mall with your friends and then they just like don't show up.
That's called being ditched.
Or the town center.
Yeah, the town center.
Yeah, that would never happen to any of us here. But no, you have plans and they fall apart. And then you see people like Chad and Gina who, at face value, just go with the flow. Chad was completely positive when this came down. We're going to beat this. I'm going to get through this. By the grace of God, this is going to happen. And again, that's attitude. But that's not more than attitude. That's greater than attitude. It's focus. Here's my focus. And look back to our verse today, what Paul's saying. Imitate me. Keep your eyes on those who walk according to the example you have in us. In other words, in the midst of crisis, how do we maintain joy in spite of our circumstance? Realize our role in the grand scheme of God's plan. That's number one. Number two, our attitude. Our attitude is going to determine how we act and we react. But then when that happens, the next thing that falls into place is our focus. What is our focus? Who and what are we focusing on? And who or what are we imitating? Because here's the thing. There are things in life that we imitate. There are things in life that we mirror. What are some things that, in general, people imitate and mirror? What do we got?
Celebrities.
Yeah.
Celebrities, that's okay. That's one. What else?
On Halloween.
On Halloween?
They imitate like a character and they want to be like Darth Vader or something like that.
Yeah, on Halloween, sometimes people will dress up and pretend. And even outside of that, Comic-Cons and stuff, people will cosplay and whatnot. So yeah, there are things that we try to imitate. There's things we want to be, and these things do influence us, and they shape us, and they mold us. And Paul's command in Philippians, if we want to maintain joy in the midst and in spite of our circumstance, focus on things that are going to bring us to a better place, not a worse place. A sad reality fact that's been happening courtesy of quarantine, and that is pornographic site subscriptions are like at an all-time high right now. They've been spiking up. And why? I mean, if we're just being honest, why? People are lonely. People are craving physical connection, human connection. They're craving the feeling of something good in general. And that's where they're going to. And the sad reality is, what if the thing they're running to is the thing they should have been running from? What if the thing we're running to and the things that we crave are the very things that might actually be killing us? And so focus is very important. Where are we focusing? What's our focus on? Who is our focus on? Who are we going to imitate? Who are we going to act like? It's a phrase we say in our youth department a lot and in our college ministry as well. Everybody serves something or someone. Everyone. Everybody serves something. Everyone serves someone. You're looking for something. You're looking to get something. You're looking to be like them. You're looking to want to focus like them, imitate them, look like them, sound like them. And this is a great truth that Paul's telling us here. We are going to focus on someone. We are going to imitate something or someone. Imitate something or someone that's worth imitating. And in this, we move to a better place and we move to joy that's in spite of our circumstance. Because when we realize our role, when we realize our attitude, and when we realize our focus, then we can truly find the secret to contentment. And that's what we talk about next week. So we're going to wrap it up here. Have a wonderful week, guys. See you later.
Amen.